three. It's good. And Gusto now will rise up from the 5-meter line and score.
That's a terrific ball, and it's up. Deep, he does. Shot is up. And
No!
Baker hits. But it's not the ball.
No!
Kenny Moore! Wow!
He won, and now it's McCauley who can finish it out. And he gets the ace.
Wilson, here comes the rush. Wilson on the reception, another touchdown for Tariq Wilson.
Pass centered up, great read by Unke, outside Cruz, tools it.
Looking for Larod down the near side, who's got it inside the 5.
And that's victory number 48 without a loss. And
OTC, your champion in 2019.
To it. The end of a tough year, San Diego State, once again, the Hawks soaring over all they survey.
We have a new champ. It's Fullerton College, and the Hornets here in 2019.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right.
Starting off, do it again. From the top. Stand by. Go ahead.
Hello again, everybody, and we welcome you back to SoCalCollegeSports.com's coverage of Golden West College softball. As today, the Rustlers welcome in the Orange Coast College Pirates for a doubleheader, which will conclude the four-game series between the two teams. We are underway. First pitch over for a strike to Caitlin Bradley-Say, who will lead things off for Orange Coast College. Michelle Sheedy back in the circle for Golden West College. She worked all four games against Saddleback a week ago, but she's had a full week off, and she did not appear in the circle in the first two games between these two teams this week. So Sheedy well rested and misses just outside 2 balls and a strike to Bradley-Say. Just underway. Orange Coast took the first two games of the series, 9-4 and 7-1 on Wednesday at Orange Coast. And the two teams switch and head just a bit away over to Huntington Beach, where they will have their final two games today. And for Orange Coast College, those that follow the team might be aware, this represents the first of a very long road trip for the Pirates. Some work being done on a new facility for Orange Coast. And so for the rest of this season, the Orange Coast College Pirates will be on the road. So it starts here today against Golden West. Pop fly shallow right, and it's going to drop in for a base hit. So Bradley-Say with the bloop single. And Orange Coast with the leadoff batter aboard. And that'll bring up Amaya White. On the season, talked about Sheedy anchoring this pitching staff. She makes her 7th appearance, her 6th start. The bunt attempt is foul. No balls and a strike. And for Sheedy in 25 innings, she's allowed 48 hits, walked 6, struck out 6. Still looking for her first win on the year, as indeed are the Rustlers, who come in at 0-10 so far. Orange Coast with a record of 3-7 after winning the first two of this series. No balls and a strike. A swing and a miss. So quickly 0-2 on Amaya White at first base today for Orange Coast. She'll be followed by the pitcher Haley Pichardo here in the top of the first. Expect Sheedy to be around the plate. Good control. And she'll challenge these Pirate hitters. This one gets away from Vasquez, and as she tries to recover, Bradley-Say will advance to second. A ball and 2 strikes, the count on White. With Pichardo waiting on deck, it's Seni Viramontes in left, Sienna Parker Islas in center, Rayanne Ballesteros in right, as Sheedy misses just outside. Count evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sarah Carpio at third, Jasmine Rodriguez at short, Casey Villa at second, Yasmin Banos at first. And it's Jasmine Vasquez behind the plate, and Brittany Seeley in the circle. Swung on and lifted to right field. Ballesteros moving over and has it. On the play, Bradley-Say able to tag and make it to third with 1 down. So White flies to right. Pirates now with a runner at third and 1 out, and Haley Pichardo in the circle today for Orange Coast will come to the plate. Seeley working quickly. The curveball misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes on Pichardo. Serenity Onan waiting on deck. 1-0 pitch. Popped up. Shallow center. It's Islas who will take it. And Bradley say will tag and score. So deep enough for Pichardo and the Pirates to grab a 1-0 lead on the sacrifice fly.
No one on
Good
third.
execution right here in the top of the first for Orange Coast. You get the leadoff hitter on. Moves up on what would probably go down as a pass ball as Vasquez has a little trouble. And then move her to third and bring her in. So quick 1-0 lead. No balls and a strike on Serenity Onan, the catcher for Orange Coast. And Seeley ready, rocks and fires. Back to the curveball and misses outside, 1-1. A freshman-laden club for Orange Coast as you look up and down the roster. But no shortage of talent for the Pirates. And in fact, in our discussion with Jody Kiaha, grounded to third, Carpio across to retire the side. Well, we'll get into that a little bit more as we move forward. We're through half an inning. Orange Coast 1, Golden West coming to bat. You're watching Golden West College softball here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Bottom of the first inning, Sienna Parker Islas to be followed by Jasmine Rodriguez and Senny Viramontes against Haley Pichardo in the circle for the Pirates in the first pitch. In for a strike. A little bit of a hesitation for John Biggs behind the plate. Jason Mandelbaum, the umpire on the bases here in game one. Popped up right side and out of play. Mike, it kind of put me in mind of the scene from Naked Gun. Leslie Nielsen's behind the plate.
Ball.
First pitch over for a strike, and Leslie Nielsen takes a few seconds before calling it. And they'll throw right down the middle.
Leslie
Felt a
Nielsen
little
or
that way.
Leslie Nielsen or Enrico Palazzo?
So multi-talented. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Felt a little that way though for John Biggs, and then
Isn't that Pee Wee
1
Herman's
and 2.
nemesis that calls him out?
Yes, it is. I believe it's like Mark Holton or something Holton. What a great villain. Out of play. 1 and 2 on Parker, leading things off.
Also very
For
easy to
Pichardo,
root for
it's-
in Teen Wolf.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Hey, look,
I think you've hit on a lot of the career. I know he was in some other stuff, but those were 2 of the big ones.
yeah. Look at me
Inside for a ball, 2 balls.
hitting on
strikes.
80s movies references, first inning. It's pretty good.
For Pichardo, it's her 7th appearance, her 3rd start in the circle, a record of 1-2. An ERA of 4.38 in 24 innings. He'll have 38 hits, walked 4, struck out 6. So not wholly unlike Michelle Sheedy, another pitcher they expect to be around the plate and challenge the hitters. And that went over and fouled away. So 2-2 on Sienna Parker Islas. It's Ashley Diaz in left field, Caitlin Bradley Say in center, Lexi Patino in right, Michaela Levis at third, Kaylee McKee at short, Kerrigan Varela at second, Amaya White at first. 2-2 pitch. Frozer with the breaking ball for strike 3. As Pichardo takes a little something off. And Parker Islas just has to let this one go.
Little back door there.
And she's down on strikes for out 1.
Tails back in. Nice work.
Well, both these pitchers will rely on changing speeds and more on breaking stuff, not so much with the fastball or rise ball. And right there you see the change up to great effect on Islas. And that will be the primary pitch to go to, especially with 2 strikes for Pichardo. Ground ball to short, easy play for McKee. 2 up, 2 down. And that'll bring up Viramontes. Rustlers with just 3 hits in the Game 2 loss, a 7-1 loss on Wednesday. And they have had some struggles putting together hits throughout this season so far. Change up outside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes on Senny Viramontes, back in left field today, but very possible that you can see Viramontes in the circle at some point as well. One of the players that moves back and forth for the Rustlers. 2 balls and no strikes, with Sarah Carpio waiting on deck. Inside, well, no, a delayed call, but it looks like that did go down for a strike. So 2 balls and a strike. And I think you got to give Serenity Onan some credit there for really framing that one up and catching that inside corner.
Hey, we're gonna have a conference here. And Coach coming out. I'm not sure if she sees something out of her picture that she doesn't like, maybe here.
Well, certainly can't have too much of an issue with the results so far. 2 up and 2 down, but indeed, Jody Lingaspi Kiaha in her 7th season back at OCC. This is her 2nd stint at the school after moving to UCLA for a couple of seasons back in 2013. And we're ready to go. 2 balls and a strike on Viramontes.
Yeah, 3 straight balls.
Track of a pitch. Maybe it was 3-0. I thought I saw.
I thought I heard a strike. I thought it was 2-1.
Yeah, well, either way, it looks like now it's a runner at first with 2 down. Viramontes will get the walk, and that'll bring up Carpio. So a 2-out base runner for the Rustlers, who trail it 1-0 here in the bottom of the 1st. Breaking ball high for ball 1. Wanted to get back to the point about Orange Coast, that it's almost entirely a freshman squad. A lot of turnover, a snap throw down, and the runner back easily. 2 balls and no strikes, but in our discussions with Jody Kiaha, talked about that still an awful lot of talent up and down this roster, and that there's an expectation in the 2 games that she might go with 2 almost entirely different lineups between the 2. And of course, that would be a stark contrast to our game last week, where Nick Traney at Saddleback had all of 9 players available on his team. So certainly locked into a lineup there, so always a little bit different. Lifted into shallow right. This is going to drop in for a base hit. Viramontes off on contact. She'll make it to 3rd. So a 2-out rally looming for Golden West as Carpio delivers a base hit. 2 on, 2 out, and Yasmin Banos will be the batter. Well, that was a little like the base hit for Bradley Say in the top of the inning. And Banos getting, or I should say Carpio, just enough on that one to get it out over second base and in for a base hit. First pitch in for a strike. So there's the strength of Sarah Carpio. She is able to muscle that one into the outfield and keep the inning alive. First hit of the day for the Rustlers. And they have something going with 2 down and Banos at the plate. The 0-1 from Pichardo. Ground ball to third. It's Levas who will go the long way and get Banos to retire the side. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on base. Through 1, 1-0. OCC over Golden West here at SoCalCollegeSports.com. Top of the second inning. Ashley Diaz will lead things off for Orange Coast, to be followed by Kaylee McKee and Michaela Levis, as Orange Coast has grabbed a 1-0 lead here in Game 1 of our doubleheader here for you on SoCalCollegeSports.com. 1 ball, no strikes. The count on Diaz. Gets the start in left field today. Michelle Sheedy back in the circle and ready to work. Kicks and delivers. Curveball just outside. 2 balls and no strikes. As Diaz stands in. Fly ball left field. Viramontes toward the line, and she's got it. 1 down.
Number 7, Kaylee McKee.
And the batter will be Kaylee McKee. Carpio at third, inside the bag. Sheeting in, outside for ball 1. As Sheedy continues to work on a steady diet of breaking balls and straight change thrown in. Line drive, shallow center. What a grab in center by Islas. Let's watch the replay here. This one looks like it could be trouble off the bat. But Islas with a good jump and then lays out.
8.
2 down. Base is empty as McKee is robbed of a base hit. And that will bring up Levis, who fouls away the first pitch from Sheedy. Well, last time out for Sheedy, And went 2 1/3 innings in the loss at Saddleback. And allowed 4 earned runs, 6 runs overall on 5 hits. So that was a relatively short outing. So expect that Sheedy should be fresh for the start today. 2 balls and a strike. And indeed, so far through the first 6 batters, she's allowed just the 1 base hit, which was more or less of a bloop single, but the good job of bringing that run around. In for a strike, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Michelle Sheedy's been sharp early, and now she's getting a little bit of help behind her with some great defense from Sienna Parker, Eastless, and center. And Sheedy bounces that one in, and the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Michaela Levis. Kerrigan Varela would be next if the Pirates can keep it alive here at the top of the second. Fouled away by Levis. Levis comes in 5 for 20 at the plate on the season. Change up just low. So a 2-out walk for Levis. And that'll bring up Varela. Kerrigan Varela comes in 4 for 16 at the plate on the season, with 3 runs batted in. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it back into the screen. No balls and a strike. And Sheedy rocks and fires. Fly ball, center field, playable for Eastless, who's got it to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base. We're through 1.5. Orange Coast 1, Golden West nothing. It's Rustler Softball on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Bottom of the second inning from Golden West College. Pirates and the Rustlers here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Jasmine Vasquez, the catcher, will lead things off for Golden West. And the curveball high for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Vasquez will be followed by Sheedy. And then Rayanne Ballesteros. Pichardo into the wind. Again, misses upstairs.
No, they called that a strike.
No on Vasquez. Oh, did it? What's that? Okay. Still fooling me a little bit with the somewhat delayed action.
A little deliberate.
A ball and a strike. The count now on Vasquez. And there, the curveball high, 2-1. Vasquez comes in 5 for 25 on the season. Home runs, a run batted in. As Pichardo into the wind, here's the pitch and fouled back and out of play. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Both these clubs, you expect to see a couple of different pitchers in the circle, potentially more than a couple. Neither of these teams relies particularly on one ace that's going to handle most of the pitching. So we should see a few different hurlers before the day is over in the 2 games for both teams. Fly ball right field deep. This is over the head of Patino and all the way to the track. This will be at least 2 for Vasquez. She will hold there with a stand-up double. Another extra base hit for Jasmine Vasquez. That's her 3rd on the season. And she comes up with a leadoff double to get things going for Golden West. That'll bring up Sheedy. Good opportunity for the Rustlers here in the bottom of the 2nd as you start to take a look at some of the other scores from around the Orange Empire Conference. All 8 teams in action today. Sheedy gets this one down the third base line. Good play by Levis to get her at first. The successful sacrifice does move Vasquez to 3rd with only 1 out. So Sheedy helping her own cause with the sacrifice. And now for Rayanne Ballesteros. An opportunity to pull the Rustlers even as the Pirates creep in at all 4 positions on the infield against Ballesteros. First pitch over for a strike. Well, it's a little bit surprising to me early in the game, but the decision by Jody Kiaha. Going to try and cut off the run at the plate on a ground ball in the infield. A ball and a strike now on Ballesteros, who has been moved into the lineup in right field for this series primarily as a ground ball to McKee at short, over to first, and on the play, Vasquez has to remain at 3rd. So Ballesteros retired on the ground out, and now it's 2 down, a runner still at 3rd, and Casey Villa coming to the plate. Well, Ballesteros with solid contact, but unfortunately for the Rustlers, right at McKee, who was able to come up with that one cleanly, look the runner back, and still had time to get Ballesteros. So now it's up to Villa, who's got to come up with a base hit. The Rustlers are going to be able to tie this one up here in the bottom of the 2nd. Villa at second base today once again. Takes this one inside. And it's 2 balls and no strikes.
1-1. That was a strike.
Thank you. So the count 1-1 for Villa, who's 2 for 21 thus far on the season at the plate. Looking for number 3 here as she chops this one foul, 1-2. Well, any old kind of a hit will do it for the Rustlers. With Vasquez at 3rd and 2 down. Here's the 1-2 pitch. She had a good cut and fouled it back. Pichardo has the sign. Here's the 1-2. Called strike 3. Villa down on strikes. And a scoring opportunity goes by the wayside for the Rustlers as they cannot bring home Vasquez after the leadoff double. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. We're through 2 complete. Orange Ghost leading Golden West 1-0 Rustler softball here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Top of the third. 1-0 lead for Orange Coast. On the first inning sacrifice fly, Haley Pichardo bringing home Caitlin Bradley Say. And that's been it for the scoring so far. Michelle Sheedy back in the circle to break up the conference, and we're ready to go. Through 2 innings, Sheedy just 1 hit, 1 walk. And the 1 run allowed, but so far the Pirates, that's all they've needed. First pitch, curveball, just high for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes on Lexi Torres, designated player. And there is Lexi Torres. Called strike, 1 ball, 1 strike. For Torres, who's 3 for 15 at the plate so far this season with a home run, 3 runs batted in. Overall, Orange Coast comes in with 5 home runs as a team through their first 10 games. So there's some power up and down the lineup. Fouled away a ball and 2 strikes. One, 2 from Sheedy. Just misses the outside corner, 2-2 now. Take a look at this one on the replay, and watch that one. And Vasquez behind the plate kind of slid just a little bit to the right, or just a little bit to her left, I should say. And I think that one looked pretty good. Might have been on the outside corner, popped on the infield, and Rodriguez is there. So Torres retired. That's a great job by Sheedy working outside and then back inside. Able to jam Torres and get out number 1. That'll bring it back to the top of the order for Caitlin Bradley Say. Talking this week with Jody Kiaha at Orange Coast, and mentioned that Bradley Say, one of the interesting cases coming in, is coming all the way from Canada, where she had been playing for the White Rock Renegades. And so she moves south, comes to Costa Mesa, to Orange Coast, picks up here, and she really anchors this outfield that sees a few different players in and out of the lineup. As the count now, a ball and a strike on Bradley Say. She's got the lone hit today for Orange Coast. Singled leading things off and eventually came around to score. 1-1. Tries to lay one down. Foul ball, and it's 1-2. Bradley Say with good speed at the top of the order, and even with 2 strikes, Carpio inside the bag at third. Fouled away once again. 1 out, nobody on. Top of the third. High for a ball. 2-2 on Caitlin Bradley Say. With that hit in the first, Bradley Say now 11 for 27 at the plate on the season. Line drive, and this will get into center field for a base hit. So Bradley Say back through the box. A one-out single. She's on base for the second time today. And the Pirates have a base runner with Amaya White coming to the plate. And Bradley Say certainly a threat to go. Couple of steals on the season. But the Pirates have been particularly aggressive stealing bases in this series. And there she goes. And the throw down into center field, but Bradley Say will stay at second with the successful steal. The pitch outside, so 1 ball and no strikes the count now on Amaya White, who flied to right her first time up, but Bradley Say in scoring position with only 1 down. White squares, but now pulls back. Curveball just outside. Well, something of a familiar refrain. It's a pretty tight outside corner. So John Biggs, yet another umpire that we've seen in our coverage, that's not going to be overly generous, certainly on the outside corner. This one ripped down the right field line, but foul. 2 balls and a strike. White trying to pick up Bradley Say. Top of the 3rd inning. Orange Coast with the 1-0 lead. Amaya White, one of the few players for the Pirates that does play nearly every game. At first base, that one in the dirt, but blocked nicely by Vasquez. 3 balls and a strike. White again will show bunt, now pull back. And again, laces this one, but foul. 3 balls and 2 strikes. What do you think now, Mike, now that I've said that Amaya White is in the lineup almost every day? Is she pretty much a guarantee not to be going in game 2? I'd say yes.
Very likely. I mean, technically, we are in mid-season form right now. Eh?
Payoff pitch to White. Outside for ball 4.
Number 77.
So Sheedy working carefully. Issues the walk to White. And now it's 2 on. Still only 1 out, and here's Pichardo. No official at bat. She had a sacrifice fly her first time up. First pitch swung on, popped into right. This will drop in for a base hit. Late break for Bradley Say at second, but she will still easily score. Now the throw down to third, and they will get White trying to advance. So that'll be the second out on the base hit for Pichardo. So Orange Coast now leading it 2-0. As Bradley Say had to let that one drop in the outfield before she could go, and she still easily scored. But good alert play in the field as Vasquez gets the throw and gets it down to Carpio at third, and White thrown out trying to advance. So the Rustlers do pick up the second out of the inning. It's a runner at second, now 2 down. And the score now 2-0 as Pichardo now has a couple of runs batted in. As she singles in another run. That'll bring up Serenity Onan. 1 ball and no strikes. Sheedy ready, rocks and fires. Misses outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Pirates doing a good job so far laying off that curveball from Sheedy. That works away from the right-hander. Here's the 2-0. Change low, 3 balls, no strikes on Serenity Onan. Over for strike one. Pichardo now up to 4 runs batted in on the season with a couple here today. And the drop ball in for a strike. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. So it was 3-0. But Sheedy's got it all the way back to a full count. The payoff to Onan. Ground ball inside of third. That's a fair ball. This is going to bring home another run, as Pichardo will round third and score standing up. Meanwhile, Onan digging for second, and she'll make it, as this one just gets by Carpio inside the bag. And a big 2-out hit from Serenity Onan. And Orange Coast now pushes the lead to 3-0 here in the top of the third. First pitch to Ashley Diaz, a ball. So 1 ball and no strikes. And suddenly the Pirates have found a way to break through again. Sheedy high fly ball, left field, and Viramontes manages to bring it in. Little drama out there, but Senny Viramontes able to secure it and retire the side. But Orange Coast comes up with a couple of runs on 3 hits. No errors, and 1 left on base. We head to the bottom of the third. Orange Coast now leading at 3-0. It's Golden West College softball here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Top of the order for Golden West. Here in the bottom of the third, they trail at 3-0. It'll be Parker Eastless, followed by Jasmine Rodriguez, and then Senny Viramontes against Haley Pichardo. First pitch over for a strike. And the book on Haley Pichardo, in addition to the curve and the change that we're likely to see, is that she works a lot off a screwball as well. That looked like the curve that worked away from Parker Eastless. Fly ball, center field, playable. Or Bradley say, who's got it? 1 down. That'll bring up Jasmine Rodriguez, the shortstop. Retired on a ground out her first time up. First pitch swung on, popped back toward the circle. Easy play for Pichardo. And quickly 2 down in the bottom of the third. That'll bring up Viramonte. She walked her first time up. Outside for ball 1. Decidedly different kind of challenge for the Rustler hitters than on our previous broadcast. Ball and a strike. Pichardo working off an assortment of breaking stuff. Not really leading with the fastball. High fly ball right field. Patino moving back, and she's got it to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down for the Rustlers in the bottom of the third. We head to the fourth. Orange Coast with the 3-0 lead over Golden West Rustlers softball here on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
Number 7, Kaylee McKee.
On 2.
We're in the top of the fourth. With Orange Coast leading it 3-0. Kaylee McKee set to lead things off. Swings at the first pitch. Ground ball up the middle for a base hit. So the leadoff hitter aboard on a single by McKee. And the Pirates back in business in the top of the fourth, already leading it 3-0. And that'll bring up Levas. A walk her first time up. And McKee started towards second, but pulls up as the pitch is high and outside for a ball. Made mention of the fact that already several stolen bases over the first couple of games for Orange Coast in this series, as they are looking to be aggressive on the base pass. And there goes the runner. A little trouble from Vasquez. Gets the throw out, but not in time to get McKee. Already the second stolen base today for Orange Coast, and quickly a runner in scoring position. Still nobody out. And the count now 2 balls and no strikes. And that ball looked like it had some drop on it, and Vasquez couldn't quite get it out cleanly. And that's all that McKee needed. Hot shot to third, but played nicely by Carpio. Meanwhile, a late break for third, and McKee able to make it after the throw. Watch the replay here, and the good hands by Carpio certainly. Looks the runner back initially, but this is just really good base running by McKee, who knows that once that throw goes to first, she's likely to be able to make it, and she does. So gets herself to third with only 1 out, and the Rustlers will stay back up the middle in the infield as that one is fouled back to the screen. No balls and a strike on Kerrigan Varela, who flied to center her first time up. So the Rustlers, at least on a ball back up the middle, will trade the out for the run, it would appear, as Rodriguez and Villa are both back. High and outside, 1 ball and 1 strike on Varela. Sheedy ready, kicks and delivers. Breaking ball high, 2 balls and a strike. Lexi Torres waits on deck. And the 2-1 pitch bounces in. Vasquez able to keep that one enough in front that McKee has to stay at third. Sheedy ready, here's the pitch. Varela swings and lifts this one on the right side on the infield. Villa will put it away. McKee still at third now with 2 down, so a big out for Sheedy and the Rustlers as it's 2 down. And now, if they can get Torres, they can get themselves out of the inning and keep it at 3-0. Torres popped to short her first time up. That's a good pitch on 3-1 by Sheedy. Able to get Varela to pop out on the infield. 1 ball and no strikes. Now the count on Torres. Ground ball to Rodriguez at short, a little trouble on the transfer. And Torres is going to be safe at first. And the Pirates will get the run here in the top of the 4th. That's a tough break for the Rustlers. Rodriguez, ordinarily very sure-handed at short. And she comes up with this one cleanly initially, but as she goes to make the throw, loses the handle. And, of course, you have so little time in softball, even on a ground ball in the infield. And with Torres getting down the line at first, she's safe without a play. And McKee will come home, and Orange Coast now leads at 4-0. That's the first error on the day for the Rustlers, and it comes at a bad time as the Pirates able to cash in and get the runner home from third. They now lead at 4-0. And Sheedy will have to go back to work against Caitlin Bradley-Say, who has been a terror at the top of the order, 2 for 2. Couple of base hits, couple of runs scored. And she'll try to keep it going here. Gets the running start, bouncing ball on the right side. Not enough time for Villa, and that's all about the move toward the ball. Watch on the replay here. As Bradley-Say looking to drag this one, and does, gets it over Seeley, and once she does, there's no chance for Villa. Not with the way that Bradley-Say gets down the line. We'll give you one more look at it. And this is all about just getting it past the circle. Once you can, not going to be able to do anything about it. 3 for 3 for Caitlin Bradley-Say. And now 2 on with 2 out. And a tough spot for Brittany Seeley, in the circle. As the dangerous Amaya White at the plate. And Orange Coast already has pushed the lead to 4-0, and they're threatening to add to it here. 1 ball and no strikes on White, who's flied to right and walked in 2 trips. Amaya White now 10 for 30 on the season at the plate. Popped up in back of second. Rodriguez there And she has it to retire the side. Orange Coast with another run on 2 hits, 1 error, 2 left on base. Heading to the bottom of the 4th, Orange Coast now leading 4-0. You're watching Golden West College softball here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Carpio, Banos, and Vasquez due up for Golden West. Trailing at 4-0 here in the bottom of the 4th. As Haley Pichardo back in the circle and ready to go to work. Misses high. 4-1 Carpio with a base hit. Her first time up. Rustlers have had some scoring chances in the first 2 of the first 3 innings. That one misses inside, 2 balls and no strikes, but they have not been able to push one across against Haley Pichardo. And Carpio ready. Fly ball just out of play on the right side. Foul ball, 2 balls and a strike. Another chance for Carpio. She had a monster game in game 1 of this series, going 4 for 4. So 4 for 6 in the series. And another base hit today, so Sarah Carpio so far liking the look of Pirate pitching. Breaking ball high, 3 balls and a strike.
Looks really clean for wireless.
I agree.
See Cypress all over Saddleback in the bottom of the 3rd. Line drive into left. It'll drop in front of Diaz for a base hit. So another hit for Carpio. I got 6 hits in the series.
Number 10,
Leadoff hitter aboard. Another opportunity for the Rustlers to get something going offensively, but so far Pichardo has come up with the big pitches when she's needed to in the first 3 innings. I'll bring up Yasmin Banos. She grounded to 3rd her first time up. There's the screwball inside for a ball, and you can see that action moving back inside toward the right-handed hitter. And Banos takes it for ball 1. Off speed, over for a strike. The throw down and Carpio back. 1 ball and 1 strike, and they almost had Carpio leaning a little bit the wrong way. She did have to scramble back. See the Mounties with the 2-0 lead in the top of the 5th. They're at Santa Ana. Banos lays this one down on the third base side, but it's foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Fullerton in the top of the 5th. They're leading 3-0. You know, the Orange Empire Conference, tough enough in softball, but this year, with the vagaries of the hopefully last legs of the pandemic, still a factor. The Mounties are playing in the Orange Empire Conference as if the conference couldn't get any tougher. That one pushed foul. A ball and 2 strikes.
How about a shout out to Coach Ruby Rojas back at Mount Sac after a stint at Auburn. Of course, the last time we saw Ruby was, I believe that was at Mount Sac. Oh no, at Bakersfield. Excuse me.
Yeah, I believe the last time we saw them, they were winning the state championship.
Again.
If my memory is right.
Versus
Yeah,
Palomar.
2 balls.
Again.
2 balls and 2 strikes, absolutely. And hopefully, soon enough, we will be back there for our championship events. Not in the offing this year, but we look ahead to later in the year and hopefully a complete return to normalcy here in the 3C2A as that one is fouled off once again. So Banos battling Pichardo with the runner at first and nobody out.
Well, if you go back a few years to when Mount Sac hosted the legend of Vicky Gutierrez going yard late in Game 6. In a game they were down, that one gets away.
Meanwhile, yeah, back to the screen, and that will move the runner up. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now the count on Banos. Is that the legend of you correctly calling the swing away as well?
It was so funny. I spoke with Ruby about that, and she loved the call.
Well, why not? Fly ball deep left, moving back. It's Diaz who's got it. So Banos gives it a ride, but it's a long out.
To expand on that, going back to that call, they wanted to see her take a pitch. And if you remember, the pitch got away, so it advances the runner. So they were just like, hey, let Vicky swing away. And sure enough, she just absolutely nailed it. I think it was a 3-run bomb. And they would go on to win back-to-back championships. And if memory serves, the year before that, they were also in the final. That one was at Bakersfield.
Is that when Cypress won?
Cypress went undefeated that year, Coach Pickler.
Yeah. That was, if my memory is right, that was a great game as well. That last game, I think it was 1-0. This one ripped into left center. This will be extra bases. The Rustlers are going to be on the board. RBI double for Jasmine Vasquez. That's her second hit in as many trips. And Golden West on the board now, trailing it 4-1. Swinging the bat well. Couple of doubles today. That one drives in Carpio.
4-1.
Golden West able to break through. And it's now 4-1. And a runner in scoring position. Still only 1 out with Michelle Sheedy at the plate as they'll conference up in the circle for Orange Coast. And just to stay with that, Micah, in the Cypress win, that was the one that had that sort of crazy finish with a runner at second and a ball that
scoreless game.
I think the Mounties in a scoreless game were perhaps not sure if it was a fair ball or a foul ball. It was kind of a swinging bunt.
Yeah.
And I think everybody was confused for a moment except one Cypress runner at second base who just never stopped. Yeah. And rounded third and came around to score the only run of the game.
With her best Willie Mays Hayes imitation.
Ending. Yeah, and it was just something of a crazy play, but somewhat emblematic of the kind of team that the Chargers had going undefeated that year, that in addition to all the talent, they also really knew the game and understood the situation, and they finished on just a really heady play.
Yeah.
On top of it to score the lone run of the game in what was a terrific tournament and a terrific finish. But yeah, that was the Chargers that I think is in our promo. If my memory is right, that's
you with the call.
That game.
It's a great call.
2 balls and a strike. Now the count on Sheedy as the Rustlers have a run in on 2 hits here in the bottom of the 4th. Sheedy had to sacrifice her first time up. Big swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Watch this here, and this looks like the curveball and a good one. Working away from Sheedy. 2-2 with Rayanne Ballesteros. Due to bat next. 2-2 pitch. Right back to the curve, and Sheedy down on strikes. That's a good response for Pichardo, who picks up her 3rd strikeout through 3 2/3. And she'll try to get out of the inning against Ballesteros, who grounded to short her first time up. Pichardo rocks and fires just outside.
Nope, strike.
Or no, is that called strike?
Yeah, the delay is a little bothersome. It's okay.
Well, I'm getting used to it. I didn't see anything in that first fraction of a second after, and then I thought, wait a second. Sometimes he waits. Looped into left, but it's McKee moving back and will make the catch to retire Ballesteros and the side. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on base. The Rustlers get on the board, but they trail it 4-1 here on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
Number 77, Haley Pichardo.
Top of the 5th, and Haley Pichardo will lead things off for the Pirates, to be followed by Serenity Onan and Ashley Diaz, 3, 4, 5 in the order against Brittany Seeley. Seeley, yes, excuse me. First pitch, low for a ball. And Pichardo been the star of the game. Worked 4 innings, allowing just the 1 run. But also at the plate, 1 for 1, a base hit, a sacrifice fly, a couple of runs batted in. So she has certainly helped her own cause at the dish. Called strike. 2 balls and a strike. This one ripped into left. This will drop in for a base hit. It's going to roll to the wall. Pichardo continues the hot hitting as she will cruise into second with a double. I think I misspoke earlier. It's Michelle Sheedy in the circle. I do apologize. I believe I misidentified.
That's affirmative, Jeff. Sheedy's still in there.
Okay, so it's Michelle Sheedy. I do want to make sure I get that right. A leadoff double for Pichardo, who's now 2 for 2 in the game, and the Pirates right back on the attack. And it'll be Serenity Onan, who's 1 for 2. 1 for 2 in the game with a double her last time up, a run batted in. And a quick conference sans the coaches. The Rustlers ready to go. As Onan will be the batter. She comes in now 12 for 24 on the season with a home run and 11 runs batted in. Has a cut here and fouls it back and out of play. No balls and a strike.
Have Eva
Double
Moore
on the
at
season
second
lead.
base.
Sorry, Michael, one more time. What was that?
Eva Moore at second base, pinch running.
Okay, so Eva Moore will pinch run for Pichardo.
Yes, sir.
1 ball and 1 strike the count now on Onan. And there is Eva Moore at second. High for ball 2. Five of Onan's 11 hits now on the season are for extra bases. So she's got some power. Lifts this one into right. And it's Ballesteros that will make the catch on the play. Eva Moore able to tag and move to third.
Number 74, Ashley Diaz.
You get a sense of the strength of Serenity Onan as she just kind of reaches out and kind of puts a half swing on a ball that looked like it might have fooled her a bit. And it still carries all the way out to Ballesteros and right, who only had to move in maybe a step or two as she moved over toward the line. So 1 down as that one misses outside for a ball to Ashley Diaz, who's 0 for 2. She's flied out twice. Yeah, that time I think Onan's strength didn't really help her. Instead of maybe being a blooper that's in a bad spot for Golden West, that one ended up having a little more carry on it, and it gave Ballesteros some time. Still, Moore moved to third, and she'll come in here on the base hit by Diaz. The Pirates answer the Rustler run with one of their own here in the top of the 5th. As Moore comes home to score on the single by Diaz. Well, again, excellent execution by Orange Coast. They get the leadoff hit, the runner to third, and then the base hit. Runner goes, throw down, not in time. Another stolen base. This time it's Diaz. And Orange Coast looking to run at every opportunity in this series, it would seem. This is a pretty good pitch to handle for Vasquez, and the throw is there, but Diaz is just able to beat it. Good job on the replay, and you get a great look there. And Diaz, with a good jump, gets to second with 1 down. And Mike, can you update me on the count, please?
0-2.
So no balls and 2 strikes on Kaylee McKee, who's 1 for 2, a base hit her last time up. Sheedy ready. Curveball low. It just squirts away from Vasquez behind the plate. That's enough time for Diaz to make the move to third. So now with 1 out, another run at third. And a 1-2 count on McKee. And the infield going to elect to stay back up the middle. As this ball again gets away from Vasquez.
It's a
And what's the
strikeout.
call here?
It's a strikeout and a pass ball.
And a wild
like.
pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of strange. You watched the replay. It almost looked as though that got a little piece of the bat. Clearly, it didn't. As you can't have a much better view of it than John Biggs. This is literally right in front of his face. So, but that's so close, and it's kind of a tricky ball for Vasquez to handle.
I think it did get a piece of the bat.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to tell from that angle.
There's a conference going on between the
so
umpires.
We can't really tell. That's as slow as it can possibly go, and it's just hard to tell if that one got by. And as you say, with the bat right in front, that can be a tricky ball for Vasquez to handle, and it ends up getting away. The run does score, but they are going to conference up now. It's John Biggs and Jason Mandelbaum, and they'll try to determine what the final call here will be. For the moment, it's 6-1 with a runner, or I should say with the base is empty, and it would be 2 down. And indeed, they are going to say that that was not a foul ball.
Number
So
13, Michaela
the
Lagos.
wild pitch or pass ball will allow the runner
Did they run?
to score, and the stolen base and then the previous wild pitch, and those little plays add up, and it's very opportunistic for the Pirates as Diaz was able to get from first to third without the benefit of a hit by the Pirates and ends up coming around to score. Fly ball right field, Ballesteros there to retire the side. But Orange Coast adds a couple of runs on 2 hits. No errors, nobody left on base. We head to the bottom of the 5th, and the Pirates have the 6-1 lead over the Rustlers. Golden West College softball here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Hey, Mike, let me know if there's a change that you can see in the field or anything like that, or if Haley Pichardo comes back, or thanks. Okay, I've got that it's still Pichardo.
Pichardo back in.
For the bottom of the 5th, with OCC leading it 6-1. Pirates winners in the first 2 games of the series on Wednesday at Orange Coast. Come to Golden West, I should say, for the 2 games today. And we'll have them both for you. At the conclusion of this one, Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, we will sign off, but you can get back for game 2. Just search our channel on YouTube, SoCal College Sports 1. That'll take you to the channel and the player to play it there. Or you can always go to our website, www.socalcollegesports.com. And we'll see you back here for game 2. Back to the screen, 0-2 on Villa, who struck out her first time up. Well, it's somewhat reminiscent of the first couple of games. A 9-4 win, a 7-1 win for Orange Coast, and the score in this one 6-1. Here in the bottom of the 5th, and the Pirates just seemingly a run or 2 at a time, but able to put together a couple of hits inning after inning. Consistently give themselves scoring chances, and you couple that with some good pitching in the circle and a wave and a miss at the breaking ball from Pichardo and Villa down on strikes. And the drop action on that one. Villa out in front. 1 down. And back to the top of the order with Sienna Parker Islas, who's 0 for 2. Struck out and flied out. Parker Islas now 7 for 28 on the season at the plate. Back to the drop ball, and it misses low for ball 1. Line drive, base hit to left. So Parker Islas aboard with a 1-out single. And this one of the few pitches that we can definitely point to and say that Pichardo just left this one out over the plate. Not a lot of movement on that one. And Parker jumped on it for a 1-out base hit. Bluff towards second, strike one to Rodriguez, who's grounded out and popped out. In on the hand, slow roller to short. They go to second for one. The relay. Rodriguez able to leg it out. It'll go down as a fielder's choice. 2 down. And a runner at first. And Senny Viramonte is coming to the plate. Well, that one hit slowly enough that there was no chance that they were going to be able to turn 2 on Rodriguez, but they do get the force of Islas at second. And Viramontes, who's 0 for 1, flied to right and walked in 2 trips, will be the batter. And the Rustlers, you get the sense that they're starting to put it together a little bit more as the season goes. You look back at the first 3 games of the season, and they had just 2 hits in each of the first 3 games as a team. And it is going to be hard as they were shut out the first 3 games. This one down the right field line, but foul. And
Hit
it's
and
quickly
run.
no balls and 2 strikes.
Hit and run was on.
So Rodriguez will return to first. 0-2 on Viramontes. But since that point, so a game where they had 7 hits against Saddleback and then 11 hits in game 1. And a 9-4 loss. Slow roller left side over to second to get the force. That's all they needed. They did make the throw, but not necessary as Rodriguez forced at second to retire the side. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Through 5 complete, it's 6-1 Orange Coast over Golden West. Rustler Softball on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
Number 9, Kerrigan Varela.
Top of the 6th inning, Kerrigan Varela will lead things off for Orange Coast, to be followed by Alexi Torres. And on the top of the order, Caitlin Bradley Say. Michelle Sheedy back out. He's gone the first 5. And Varela swings and fouls this one back for strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch, bounces in. 1 ball, 1 strike on Varela, who's 0 for 2, flied out and popped out. Sheedy is Scattered 7 hits, walked 2, 1 strikeout. Well, the 6 runs, 5 of them earned. Fly ball left field. Viramontes there.
Number 12, Lexi Torres.
1 down for Torres. Popped out and reached on an error. In 2 trips. Well, game 1's been all about Caitlin Bradley-Say and Haley Pichardo. Inside for a ball, 3 hits for Bradley-Say and a couple of runs scored. Pichardo with a couple of hits, a couple of RBIs, and of course, Haley Pichardo's been in the circle, going 5 innings and allowing just the 1 run. And that has really keyed the Pirates today on the outside corner. 1-1 the count. And Torres the DP.
No.
1-1 from Sheedy on the ground to second. Villa over to first. 2 down. Base is empty.
Number 1, Caitlin.
And Caitlin Bradley-Say coming to the plate. And as I alluded to a moment ago, she's 3 for 3 on the day. 3 singles, a couple of runs batted in. And again, looking for the drag on the first pitch, and it's high for ball 1, excuse me. Ball, no strikes, and with her speed on that left side. There's a constant threat, and sure enough, Carpio well in at third, and Banos cheating in at first. And this one hard hit and past Banos into right, and that is great execution from Caitlin Bradley-Say, because that's no chance for Banos at first. When she's able to hit the ball hard, she pulls back and takes a good rip at this one. And no more than about 30 feet away is Yasmin Banos, and it's going to be very tough to come up with that ball, as it was well hit. And it's a single for Caitlin Bradley-Say, who's putting on a clinic at the top of the order. 4 for 4. That'll bring up Amaya White. A wave and a miss. There goes the runner, the throw down. And it just gets away from Rodriguez. Boy, that throw was close to beating Bradley-Say there. That was going to be very close. But it slips out, so no matter, as Bradley-Say in safely with another stolen base. And the Pirates continue to look to run at every opportunity. No balls and a strike on Amaya White, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. So good speed in scoring position for the Pirates with 2 down, and you got to believe any hit to the outfield is going to get the job done for the Pirates to pick up another run. On the outside corner, it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Amaya White, who's had a quiet day at the plate, but not a quiet season at the plate. As White came in with 10 hits and 29 at-bats, but she's 0 for 2 so far today. So Sheedy's done a good job thus far. Just outside. And there's that slight move to the left, that slight lean from Vasquez. And again, I think that sort of ends up functioning as kind of the opposite of framing it up. I think it makes that ball look a little bit more outside than perhaps it is. And Sheedy continues to work that outside corner, popped up, trouble out left for Viramontes, and this one ends up dropping in. And Amaya White is going to be safe, and Bradley-Say, with 2 down, who was off on contact, ends up scoring easily. Well, that's another tough break for the Rustlers, as that ball initially looked like it was playable, and I'm not sure if Viramontes just misread it off the bat, or maybe is battling the sun out there
Ruled a hit
as well out in left field, but she appeared to lose track of that ball momentarily, and it ends up dropping in. And with 2 down, as I say, Bradley-Say was off on contact, so no need to let that one drop before she went. So she was at home plate by the time that ball even landed. So Orange Coast now pushes the lead to 7-1. No balls and a strike on Haley Pichardo, who's got a chance to help her cause once again at the plate, where she's 2 for 2 with a couple of runs batted in. Lined on a short hop off of Rodriguez, back near the bag. Meanwhile, White running hard, rounds third, and she will score. Let's watch here again. This is a tough ball for Rodriguez to handle. It ends up coming off, but watch White around third, never stops. This is great recognition of the situation by Joey Legaspi at second or at third base in the box, who just goes ahead and waves her around as Villa comes over to get that ball. And White safe by an eyelash as the first pitch over for, I should say, outside for a ball. On the play, Pichardo ends up at second as Onan fouls this one off. 1 ball and 1 strike. So I believe that'll go down as a single for Pichardo. Another run batted in. She's got 3 in the game. And the lead now 8-1 in Orange Coast. Drop ball in for a strike, 1 and 2. Now with a chance potentially to get the mercy win in 6 innings. It's 8-1, 1 more run, and they'll have the 8-run lead. Onan ready, ripped back up the middle. This is another base hit. Pichardo around third. She will score. Onan with another 2-out hit, and Orange Coast now leads this one 9-1.
It hit Pichardo.
Yeah,
she's
I
out.
think you see that ball move a little bit to the right.
Yeah, she's out.
Okay, so that is the call. So that's a break for the Rustlers. Takes the run off the board as the base hit from Onan ends the inning as Pichardo hit by the ball back up the middle. We head to the bottom of the 6th with OCC leading at 8-1 over Golden West here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. That's weird that the call is when she gets hit by the ball, that the call is a safe sign. Watch the umpire. I mean, I get that that's the call. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying it's weird that it's sort of the exact opposite of what the result of the play actually is.
I think he's indicating that it's over. It's over, Commander. Is what he's saying. I don't know.
Go as
I don't know if it was a safe call. I think he's just like, hey, hold everything, kind of call.
Well, it's also the safe call. So I guess that's got to be a base hit for Onan, I guess, isn't it? I mean, I would think.
I'll go talk with Tim Bremen. See if that's ruled a hit. I believe it will be. A hit and then runner's interference, maybe.
That's what I have it down as.
Indeed, a hit and runner's interference. Tim Bremen, Sports Information Director, keeping score here today, has just indicated to me. So that's what it will be scored as. 8-1. We head to the bottom of the 6th.
Carpio will lead things off. She's 2 for 2 on the day. Pichardo ready, first pitch swinging. Fly ball left center, and it's Bradley Say who will track it down. 1 pitch, 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. So the Pirates finally get Sarah Carpio. But she hit it well again. But Caitlin Bradley say, showing some range in center field. Tracks that one down in left center for out number 1. That'll bring up Yasmin Banos. First pitch over for a strike. No balls on a strike on Banos, who's 0 for 2, grounded out and flied out. Off speed, low for a ball, 1-1. Orange Coast comes in with a record of 3-7, but it's a little bit misleading. Their first 2 opponents, bouncing ball to short, and McKee with the strong throw will get Banos. First 2 opponents for Orange Coast were Fullerton and Santiago Canyon. Strong, very sophomore-laden teams. So a lot of talent and a lot of veteran leadership. And they took 7 of the first 8 games from Orange Coast between the 2. They had the 1 win in Game 2 at Santiago Canyon. But Jody Legaspi-Kiaha saying that she was looking ahead with this team, that she knows she's got a very young team here, and felt that that was not the worst thing for the team to be thrown a little bit into the deep end right off the bat, and she feels like the team will make some strides forward even in those losses, and that can be very good experience, and that she expects that this team will continue to get better as the season goes. And immediately here against Golden West, they've been able to turn it around with a couple of wins, and they're well on their way here in Game 3 to potentially another win. Well, Mike, if you want the deep end, you know, you can join the Orange Empire Conference. It's not a bad idea. Plenty of deep end in this conference.
No doubt. Just absolutely
3
loaded.
balls and a strike.
Considered one of the, if not the best conference in the state in most sports.
On the outside corner. Yeah, it doesn't, I mean, we have the good fortune to cover a number of different sports, and it doesn't seem to matter what we're covering. Some of the top teams in the state always seem to come out of this conference. Change low for a ball. So a 2-out walk for Vasquez. The route in the circle. First pitch. One hopper to short. Good play by McKee, who goes to second to get Vasquez and retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base. We head to the 7th. The Pirates will try to close it out. They lead it 8-1.
Number 74, Ashley Diaz.
Top of the 7th, it'll be Diaz, McKee, and Levis. 2 Two up for Orange Coast
New inning.
as they lead it 8-1. Again, doubleheader coverage today. And Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Game 2 is scheduled for a half hour after the conclusion of Game 1. I don't know if it's that formal. They have an official time. No balls and a strike. The count on Diaz, who's
Tim,
1 for 3.
Do we wait for 3 or half hour after this? Half hour after this.
So a half hour after the conclusion of this game, we'll have Game 2 for you here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Happy you've joined us. 1 ball and 1 strike on Diaz. And a good cut back to the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. As they're going to let Michelle Sheedy finish this one off. Here in Game 1. Looks like both starters might go the route. Rodriguez charges, and the throw a little low, and it gets away from Banos, so the runner going to be safe. And I got to believe this is going to go down as an error. I'm not sure if this will go on Rodriguez on the throw or on Banos.
Throw's there.
I think it's a stretch for Banos, but yeah, I think she gets caught there in between backhand or not, and it ends up going off the heel of the glove. So it should go down as an error. And Diaz is aboard. Shot back to the box. What a play by Rodriguez. And she's able to turn 2. 6-3. Let's watch the replay. This is great range. And then watch her get the foot down, too. And then, oh, by the way, how about the throw? Man, that is sensational. That's about 3 good plays on 1 play. That's some glove work from Rodriguez. Popped up on the infield, and Villa will put it away. So the Rustlers bounce back from a miscue in the field. No runs, no hits, 1 error. Nobody left. Jasmine Rodriguez puts on a show. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Orange Coast with the 8-1 lead. Bottom of the 7th. Haley Pichardo back in the circle, looking for her 2nd complete game of the season and her 2nd win. If she can finish this one off, that would even up her record at 2-2 on the year. She works to Ballesteros, and it's outside. 2 balls and no strikes. It'll be Ballesteros, Villa, and then Parker Islas. Screwball again, in for a strike. 2 balls and a strike on Rayanne Ballesteros, who's 0 for 2. Ground out and lined out. Back to the circle, and Pichardo from her knee, is able to make the throw. But Pichardo able to range a little bit to her right, knock that one down, and then calmly finish the play to get Ballesteros for out number 1. That'll bring up Villa, 0 for 2 on the day. In for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. Take you through some of the other scores. Fullerton with a nice win over Santiago Canyon, and Cypress able to... Oh, great play by Pichardo. That was a soft line drive off the bat of Villa that again could have been trouble. And enough on the vertical for Haley Pichardo.
Better my vertical.
Better than everyone's vertical here at SoCal College Sports, I think it's safe to say at this point. You probably still have the best vertical, in the company.
If I do, it's not by much, and that is not high praise.
Yeah, more of an indictment of the rest of the company, to be fair. Fly ball, shallow right. Right there is Patino, and she's got it, and that will do it in game 1. Pichardo finishes it off, going the route. The final score, OCC 8, Golden West 1. They take game 3 of the series, and again, as a reminder, we will be back. We're going to sign off here and rejoin you in a half hour, a little bit ahead of a half hour. And we will have game 4 for you. Go ahead, Mike.
Next game will start around 2:45-ish. 2:46, I think, is the exact time, but we will come back with you shortly.
Well, we're going to sign off here and then come back. We'll have the broadcast going for game 2 in advance of the start of the game. But you can get that again on YouTube. SoCal College Sports 1 is our channel, or on our website, SoCalCollegeSports.com. Final score 8-1 for everybody here at SoCalCollegeSports.com. Signing off in game 1. We'll see you shortly here for game 2.
It's down to 2. Final play of the third quarter. Blitz coming, but Tari is swallowed up. Meanwhile, Smith lost the handle. Palella for 3. It's good. Gusto now will rise up from the 5-meter line and score.
Terrific ball, and it's up. He does. Shot is up. And good. Baker hits. But it's top. Kenny Moore. Wow.
He won, and now it's McCauley who can finish it out. And he gets the ace.
Wilson, here comes the rush. Wilson on the reception, another touchdown for Tariq Wilson.
Pass centered up. Great read by Unke. Outside Cruz. Tools it.
Looking for Larod down the near side, who's got it inside the 5. And that's victory number 48 without a loss. And
OCC, your champion in 2019.
Let's do it. The end of a tough year, Santiago Canyon once again, the Hawks soaring over all they survey.
We have a new champ. It's Fullerton College, and the Hornets are in 2019.